Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Open Cluster Management Community meeting. Today is October the 10th, 2025. On the agenda today, TJ's going to talk a bit about the version 1.1 release and the coming up version 1.1 release. So, TJ, if you have anything to share, please feel free to take it away. Thank you.
So I think that's at the same time there's a questions on the Slack about the release. When are we going to release? So I want to discuss about this in this meeting. Let me share my screen. Just 1 minute.
The last release was June the 20th, so near the end of June.
Yes. So yeah, so I put all the so this is a dashboard for the 1.1.0 release. I'm not sure whether I have put all the issues here. I think most of them is here. Um, so so there's something that we need to remove out. Like so there's two things. One is I think we need to work through this dashboard to check whether anything that we should move out from the 1.1. And the another thing is about the schedule, like when the release date. Um, so let me go through this at first. So the first one, that is to I think it's to honor the labels in the add-on template. But there's no. So Julian, do you think that we need to remove that? I think you asked a question, but no one, the reporter hadn't responded about what's exact requirement it should be.
Yeah, I think we can remove this first, and in the future, maybe we can consider this one with the conditional add-on template together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, let's remove it. This is set as done, but uh, oh yeah, this is a bug. Hmm. Yeah, let me check. Let me double confirm whether so there's some library update recently, so I'm not sure whether it has been fixed already. So I will double confirm this again. Um, and this one is about Google Scholar project. So I think the real status it is in progress. Um, Haojun, do you know any status about that, or we need to discuss with
Oh,
Yem?
this project is delayed, so it may be postponed to next release. I don't think they can finish this
Okay,
in this release.
okay.
I just saw him push some commits though. I'm not sure if it means anything, but
This one is also about add-on enhancement. Uh, don't think we are going to finish this one. Yeah, let me just remove it. Okay, and yeah, this is a document bug. Yeah, we should fix that for the manifest replica set. Is anyone want to take it?
Yeah, I can take it. I mean, it's just quick fix. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I will assign to you. Observability. I think there are some missing part. I will check with training on this. I'm not sure whether training is on the call. But I think they're still missing, like, at least we need a document and a Helm chart. I will double check with him. Okay. Oh yeah, this I don't think we can finish this one. I think there are some API update on this, but we haven't implement. Yeah. Let's remove. Oh, just remind me that I should ask Alfred whether he still want to work on that. So there are still 2 bugs about the manifest work replica set. I think we should do it. In this release. So for this one, I'm asking Mohammed, but if he doesn't have cycle, I will work on this. I will work on this one. So anything missing here? Haojing, is there any issue about the deprecating the install namespace field?
We have an issue which contains all the plan, not only for the deprecate field.
Yeah,
It's issue 826.
826.
I can create a sub issue for this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, can you create a sub-issue and send to me? Put I will put in this dashboard.
Yes.
Okay, anything else that is missing?
Kind of want to enhance the Argo CD agent add-on. So, but I'm not sure when are we gonna do the release. So I might be able to get in. I might not be able to get in. That's the only thing that coming from us.
Okay.
So do you know roughly when are we looking at a release date? Like next week, like end of next week, stuff like that.
I think I think that's something I want to discuss. Like I think we can do the code freeze or the feature freeze or bug freeze next week by the end of the next week, and then we have another week to do the release part. So that will be, let me check the. So it's more like 23 or 24. we made the release before the next community meeting. That sounds okay.
Yes, that sounds okay. I mean, it's been how many months? July, August, September, October. So about 4 months. Yeah, that sounds like a good time to do a release. I mean,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
that is at 23rd. So this is also something that I want to I want to discuss is maybe from next release, we need to set up the plan more early, uh like I'm not quite good at the release manager. So if anyone want to be volunteer to be the release manager, that will be good. But I think we need to set up, for example, we need to start a release plan at the beginning of the release and have a more clear schedule so everyone can understand what's a release date for the next release.
I completely agree. But we don't have to like have all the issues, everything planned out, but it'll be good to know the big items. Like for example, in this release, I see the cube add-on and the gRPC stuff as big items. And I feel like the next release, hopefully there's some community enhancements that are more,
Yes.
yeah, there's some enhancement coming from certain groups, so hopefully those is like the main focal points, and then
Yeah.
those are the ones that we want to plan out early and keep track of. Like
Yeah.
individual items can still be a little more I don't know, dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even anything that we could have an initial plan and always adjust. I think in the kube upstream, they will set up a enhancement free state and a code free state. The enhancement free state is quite early, like 2 weeks or at most 4 weeks after the starting of the release. So after that, any enhancement they will just not merge any enhancement proposal for the current release. It has to be postponed to the next release. And then there is a code-free state, and then it's okay that the enhancement is not merged before the enhancement-free state. It's just it just mean that that proposal will not be included in this release. Uh, so we can follow a similar pattern for that. But the main idea is we could have a roughly initial plan, but um, if anything, we cannot if because of the cycle of working cycle or anything is because of any other things that we cannot catch up with release, it's totally okay. It just means that we know that what we can know all we can track like what will be contained or not.
Yes, I completely agree. And it's good for marketing. I don't know the right word. It's good for marketing as well because you know that the next release, the main goals are
Yeah.
certain features, right? Then you
Yes.
just focus on that part, and then when it comes to do the release, or even during the release cycles, we can kind of advertise that a little bit better. It's like, oh, the next release we have this feature, this feature. That's our main focus, and then when we do a release, we just wrap our marketing around that. Like I don't know, maybe some blogs, some videos just
Yeah.
to just to say, hey, this is our main focal point for this current release. I mean, this release that we just did, and we don't have to go over every single items, but just the one that we initially planned, and then
Yeah.
that'll be great.
All right. Okay, then we will target for this date, and yeah. And any other concern? Any questions?
I have a question, but it's not related to the point one release, so you can stop your sharing.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the Argo CD agent setup on the hub side, initially it needs a CA. And
Mhm.
that CA, you can generate it by using the Argo CD agent CLI. But they put a kind of like a warning, oh, using this generated CA is not, how do I say it? It's not it's not for production. Like they clearly
Mm.
say this is not a production CA. So I'm thinking in OCM, right? You know how we bootstrap the initial the clients the cert dance that we do. The CA, is that coming from the Kubernetes server, like the kubeconfig? Where's the initial CA coming from, QJ?
So we have a library. Can I share again?
Yes, please.
So in the SDK Go, we have a controller that is to generate the serving cert and CA. So something like you start this with namespace and what the host name of the CN name, etc. And then it will generate a config map in the specified namespace that you start with a controller. And that one will be, I think it will be rotated automatically. Um, so then you have the C bundles in this config map, and you can get the C bundles and to generate your own serving cert or client cert, etc. So I think in the add-on framework, in some of our component, we are using this controller. Uh,
Okay, I understand.
yeah, you can take a look at that. If you don't want to use this controller, there is other part called cert rotation. This is a more like a utility that you can generate C, but it's not in the controller, so you need to call it uh, when you want to to rotate or something.
But how the other one is in a controller? In what controller though? You mentioned that it can auto rotate.
Yes. So to
Oh,
use
this
that,
itself is a controller.
yes, there is already a controller here. So to use it, just starting the serving cert controller and setting something like namespace, the CN and the host names in the for the CA and start it. And that's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's depends on how you want to use it. You can start a separate controller to do that, or if you want to just generate CA in your own controller without uh, using this controller, you can call the C bundle rotations here in the in your own controller, and then there is some method that it will just generate a CA and rotate based on like whether the CA is but you need to call the ensure config map CA bundles to generate the cert.
Okay. But I mean, it takes in the signing cert key pair. Who's generating that?
So there are several ones. The first one is a signer part. The signer part will generate the CA pair. So you need to start in the rotation, signing rotations, and then put that into the input as ensure config CA bundles. I mean, this has also been done in the controller. Like you can also check how it is done here.
I see. You're right. You're right. Yeah, that's true. Another thing is, let's say I have the CA now,
Hmm.
but then add-on template is a add-on template's custom signer. You know how it takes in? Does it take in a CA? Yeah, it takes in a CA and a namespace, right? But I don't know the namespace ahead of time. Do you know what I mean? Because a user can put the Argo CD agent, I mean the Argo CD in any namespace, right? It doesn't have to be Argo CD namespace. So then
You,
the temp,
yeah,
yeah. Then yeah, how do I? And I don't want to ask the user to modify that cluster scope add-on template object.
but how are you going to apply the template? Are you going to put it into a Helm chart or
Yes,
a gather?
yeah, it'll be
Mhm.
a chart. Yeah.
So it's a Helm chart part together with controllers on the hub side, or it's a separated Helm chart. I mean, you
So
can if it, yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't know ahead of time if they're going to use Argo CD or not. That's the issue. But I want the add-on template to be available if they're gonna use it. So I don't know what namespace that they're gonna. You know what I mean? Like the
Mm,
so when you install, let's say when you have an OS, you have a whole bunch of programs, a whole bunch of
mm,
catalog programs that you can install, but you don't. So the catalog is there. So it's kind of like the add-on template, right? The add-on template is like a catalog. It's available for you to create an
mm,
instance for it, but then you don't know if you're gonna need it or not. So that's But in the add-on template, I'm defining the custom signer part. I have to define the namespace. But that namespace is kind of more connected with like the instance. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a little bit stuck on that.
But
or still
so what you mean is that you don't want the user to specify the namespace when it run install the add-on template.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Hmm. But if you put it into the Helm chart, how will that be installed? Like you still need to give like values YAML or some settings to install the Helm chart.
But I'm just installing the the catalog. I'm not creating the managed cluster add-on yet. Like I'm
Mhm.
just I'm just creating the it's basically I'm trying to say it's available for you to use. So I can populate all those stuff. It doesn't make sense though. I didn't explain it clearly enough.
No, I still not quite get at that. So what's the install experience like? So first, for example, what's the install experience? So at first you have the Argo CD, which doesn't include. So there is a package about Argo CD, right? And that part doesn't include the add-on template. So the user
No,
comes, right?
I
So
want the
yeah.
add-on template to be there. Like the the user may or may not choose to install Argo CD, but
Mm-hmm.
the Argo template is already there.
Is already in the same package of the Argo CD.
No, in OCM. Like
Yeah, I mean, I want to understand the whole install experience. Like, so at
yeah.
first, user doesn't. So what's a package that we are talking about? For example, in the OCM Helm chart, what do we contain in this Helm chart? I think there will be add-on template. Are we going to include also the controller of the hub side in this template? I mean,
Uh
a template, but in this Helm chart.
yeah, so just imagine we have a OCM Helm chart that
Yeah.
install the OCM hub component, but also have a bunch of add-on template catalog that is defined. So we have like cube add-on template there, and then we have Argo CD agent template there. So that OCM chart doesn't have those instances or the controller installed yet. It's not until you decide to, hey, I want to install Cube, and then as a part of installing Cube, it also activate those add-on. So same with Argo CD. As part of installing Argo CD, you it activates the Argo CD add-on, that type of thing. Does it make sense or it doesn't make sense?
So you mean that when the user comes and install, it will first install the Helm chart of the add-on, like the Helm chart that include the add-on template and cluster management add-on. But with that time, the Argo may not be installed yet. So after a while, the user said, I want to run the Argo, so he installed the Argo, and then he want to enable the Argo in some clusters, and he create a managed cluster in these clusters. Is that the process?
Yeah, something like that. So the
Oh,
OCM, like before they even run they okay when they run one command, let's just imagine there's a OCM Helm chart that bundles with all these different add-on templates. Because when you apply those add-on templates or the other cluster scope resources like cluster management add-on, like all those stuff, we're actually not laying down the instances this year, right? So it's okay
right.
to
Yeah.
have them in the system because it's not like they're taking out any resources or anything.
Yeah.
Then so that's the only chart that the user have ever installed, just like a OCM full installation chart. And then it comes with the OCM, the usual stuff, but then also these catalogs. So no instances yet. And then now the user's like, hey, I want to install Argo CD. Then instead of installing the Argo CD with the add-on template and stuff, I want the user to just do the Argo CD install and then essentially toggle the add-ons, like by creating either managed cluster add-on resources or yeah, or have a controller that can generate those resources, like the add-on manager that you mentioned. But
Yeah, I
I
see
want
what you mean.
I want the
Yeah.
template to be there already, but
Mm.
in order to use the custom assigner stuff, I have to kind of predefine the namespace, I think.
Yes.
So then it creates kind of like a, but then I kind of enforce it. I kind of force the user. Oh, it has to be the Argo CD namespace,
Mm.
but I don't want the user to touch the template resource because that is not something that's more like a system level thing that they shouldn't play with. They should be just play with the instances that they have.
Right. I see what you mean, but I don't know.
So
I think that will be uh, hard to do because it's not only about what namespace, it's also about the class, the permission. Um, because so when the add-on template controller trying to get the CA, for example, it doesn't have the permission to get secret on all the namespace. You
yes,
have to set the class role, the role bindings, etc., to allow them to setting us to allow it to get a secret from a certain namespace. So if the yeah, I mean it's not only it's also the permission part.
okay, okay, okay. I kind of understand. So if I don't use the add-on template and then I use the GoCo and the add-on framework library,
Hmm.
then I can still use the custom signer stuff, right? Because
Yes,
okay,
yes.
yeah, I might have to, yeah, I might have to do that. Because then the add-on manager, but the add-on manager is still a cluster scope thing. Like, is the add-on manager watching?
Yes.
Yeah. So how does it make sense to? But at least that will be more dynamic. That I can change the namespace.
Well, yes, you can, but yeah, you can. Uh, but the thing is, how do you know whether which namespace Argo is installed? You probably will need to, I mean, how do you detect that? Like you, you might need to detect a certain name of the deployment or something. Uh,
Can,
I
I
don't.
I was thinking to have a CR that basically governs. Like I basically have a CR
Mhm.
to uh to create those. Like that CR represent the IAM manager, and then
Okay.
so that CR is the user will create that CR in the namespace that where the Argo CD is.
Mhm.
Because I needed the CR. I needed that additional controller anyways to do some weird importing of ACM. I mean OCM managed cluster into the Argo CD cluster inventory. So I needed that for that part anyways. So I'm like, okay, does it make sense
Okay.
to have the add-on manager on here as well?
Yeah.
But yeah, but then that's a cluster scope thing. So
you have to have the cluster scope if you, so for example, if you first you don't know the namespace of the secret, so the controller that you are developing will need to have the permission that can get all secret in all namespace. And that is already like quite high privileged permission. Uh, yeah, and certainly you can do something like you still use the add-on template and um, yeah, you still use the add-on template and you can have the controller that detect the Argo CD is installed and update the namespace of the C part in the add-on template and give them the permission. That's also a possible way to do that, like an operator does. Um, so that's another option.
Okay. Another thing that I'm a little bit stuck on this, because the custom signer, I give, like, even if I do in code in our manager in the Go library, like that's still just one namespace. So I can't have multiple different instances of Argo CD on different namespaces. And then now my custom signer, do you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like I need,
yeah,
yeah, go.
maybe not. So you mean that you will have different instance of Argo CD, and are they why they use why you so are they going to use a different gRPC server or they?
Yeah. So I'm just thinking in the future, right? They will support different namespaces. They're already talking about this. Different namespaces might have different
Yeah.
instances of the principal, the hub side, the Argo CD hub. So now each namespace will need that CA, and then each namespace needs to have their own signer, that type of thing, to keep the MTLS. So I don't think that's currently possible, right, with the add-on framework right now.
Well, so actually you can have like
Oh
different add-on template, uh, and name it a different add-on. I say,
yeah. Okay.
oh, by the way, actually you can put it into a single add-on, but have different add-on template. Um,
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay.
and yeah, I
Oh.
think that's possible, right? Uh,
Oh, I might look into that, because you're saying maybe I need to generate that add-on template dynamically, and then I will
yes.
have the values, because if there's another instance, then I generate another add-on template, that type of thing, and then I will create when I create the managed cluster add-on, or I don't know where the pointer is. I point at the correct add-on template.
Yes, you can put, I mean, but the limitation here is that for a single cluster, it need to use a single add-on template.
Single cluster.
So for a managed cluster, for a single managed cluster,
Yep.
uh, it either use template one or template two, right? It cannot use both.
Okay, but yeah, I
So
think
that
that should be good enough for now. Yeah.
the reason that so what's the reason that you will have multiple instances? Like, are you going to have, for example, 10 clusters, 5 clusters connect to this Argo instance, another 5 connect to another Argo CD instance? Is that?
No, I think it's more like on the hub side. They want to use namespace as kind of like to separate the teams. So on
Mhm.
namespace one, this team should only have this Argo CD, and then this Argo CD can only do with these stuff, and then the other team can only do the other stuff. That's the main motivation.
Oh, I think that's an interesting thing. Maybe you need to. Do you have a document or something?
No, I'm thinking no, they don't have this capability yet. They're just talking about it right now with the because right now in the Argo CD hub, you're still sharing your screen by the way, Kishan. So
Oh,
right
sorry.
now in the Argo CD agent hub design, you can only have one singular principal, and then because the namespace, each namespace represent a managed cluster, so similar to OCM. That's the current design, but they're planning to move away from that design. So what that means is in each namespace, there's going to be a pattern for multiple clusters, targeting multiple clusters. So
Okay.
that's why I'm starting to just think about the solutions. But thank you, Kuja. I think you have given me plenty of help already. And if there's the limitation where the down template can only responsible for a certain set, and I think that's plenty of good enough already. So yeah, sorry to drag the meeting until the end, but definitely learn a lot. Thank you again. That's all I have. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining today. See you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Yes.